Welcome to another episode of Viall Files. Happy Monday, everybody. Thanks for listening, as always. And for those of you tuning in on Monday, hey, thanks for being prompt. And if you're not and finally getting to us, that's totally fine too. In studio, we have my trusty sidekick and producer, Rochelle.
Hello.
And Maria, once again, the Maria Ask Nick episodes, here to help me give advice on your questions as well as share some of her healthy lifestyle and eating advice that she's so good at. We thought, hi, you want to say hi?
Yeah, hi.
What did you think of Nick's doctor appointment? His doctor saying he was, what did your doctor say?
Oh my God.
I'm like a 20-year-old.
Yeah. Well, keep in mind, before said doctor appointment, I was getting blown up repetitively about, what could it be? Could it be this? Should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? Should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? Like,
I just got in my head.
It's just a matter of like not going to the doctor for long enough time and I think there is power in knowledge. You know, you can get obsessed over it, but to like, just go find out.
Yeah.
Like, I can't read your blood. Like, you know what I mean?
I'm totally fine.
Yeah. And that, can I tell you, that pissed me off more. Where he came back and I was like, wait a second, your labs are better than mine, you dick. Like, you know, like you thought you were like dying for no reason. And now you come back like spring chicken. Like, oh yeah, I'm like a 20-year-old. It's like, go fuck yourself.
So anyways, Maria, gut health. I feel like more and more people are hearing about that. And like, it's one of those things like kale 10 years ago. No one ever heard of kale. Now all we hear about kale. Gut health, it seems to be one of those things now in terms of people are even talking about it. But honestly, I don't know what the fuck it means.
Well, I feel like you probably do, Mr. like 20-year-old.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't need to worry about it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm 20 yet. I don't need to worry about my gut. But yeah, I think, science and research, we're finding more connections between the gut and brain and how much your gut health has to do with your overall health, your immune system, the way you age, the way you digest food, your ability to gain or lose weight. Like, it all resides in your gut. And when I'm saying your gut, like, people think their stomach, and it really is more so like your entire digestive tract, right? Your esophagus, your stomach, to your small and large intestines. And without going into like an anatomy lesson, you know, your gut is your second brain. So they found that there are neurotransmitters that you think would just reside in the brain along the entire vagus nerve to your gut. So things like serotonin, they've actually found in the gut to show that there is this huge connection between what happens in your digestive tract affects you like cognitively, which is going to affect you emotionally and mentally, and vice versa. So, you know, your gut health is your ability to break down food, to assimilate the nutrients, to digest, to remove toxins from your body, to have healthy poops, you know, like that's gut health, you know, and it kind of gets blanketed as this general thing, but it's kind of it's your body's ability to fight off pathogens, how easily you get sick, you know, that is associated to your gut health. Is gut health,
in terms of taking care of your gut health, obviously there's genetics that go into like what your gut is like, but obviously I'm assuming diet plays a big role into improving gut health.
Yeah, so there's a lot of times like I'll have clients who'll be like, oh, you know, my mom had IBS, my dad had stomach issues, so I have stomach issues. And inherently you will get some genetic factors from your parents. You inherit their digestive tract, but it's not a foregone conclusion that that's just the way it's going to be for you. So just like we're finding more about gut health, we're also finding more out that the human body is able to, based on its epigenetics, heal or improve or decrease and decline in health depending on what you do with, you know, your body and the genetics you're given. So we can see somebody who maybe has a family history of, you know, metabolism issues or digestive issues improve and not have the same diagnosis or longevity or conditions that their family has. And we can see people the opposite, like start off strong and, you know, young buck and just not take care of themselves and then eventually kind of see this decline. So it is something that can change, and diet is huge. You know, if there's one thing you have control over when it comes to your health and that's the most repetitive, is what you feed or fuel or don't feed or fuel your body on a daily basis.
I'm sure there's so much you can do in terms of having great diet around your gut health, but what are some of the common things that are out there that people are eating that are like based off of convenience or are told it's healthy for them, but they're in fact are really kind of damaging or hurting their gut health overall?
So, one of the things I'm going to say, and this might be a bit harsh for some people, is just processed, refined grains. And we don't think about that, but it's like, all your bagels and chips and, all of those types of things, because they aren't really doing anything nutritionally for you, except for maybe calories and carbs and, some macronutrients, but they might be carrying with them a lot more crap in them. So whether that be like additional fillers or sugars or additives that are really hard for your body to digest and get rid of, and they can actually cause your gut to have be weaker, to say it easiest. They can be proponents to like indigestion, but then even bigger scale, like things like leaky gut, where we see tied to a lot more autoimmune cases and more chronic illnesses long term.
And then what are some things, before we get to our questions, of like some great, easy, convenient foods that people can use to help improve their gut health on a daily basis?
Yeah. So the other thing I was going to say is like really crappy fats on top of that. So bad oils. So your vegetable oils, your canola oils, your cottonseed oil, soybean oil. So like the biggest thing I can say for people is look at the ingredients that are being made. If you see any of those oils, just don't eat that food. There are plenty of options out there that are made with healthier oils like avocado, olive oil, coconut oil, sesame seed oil. There's healthy fats available in products. So just look for the fat. So my example for this is like nuts. Nuts are a great healthy food, but nuts cooked and made with peanut oil or cottonseed oil, you take a healthy food and you've now made it like incredibly toxic, because now it's like a non-inflammatory food is now pro-inflammatory. So you can't always black and white food. A lot of it has to do with like how it's been processed. Yeah, right? Exactly. But some easy tips for improving gut health. We talked about this earlier, is everyone focuses on like what I should eat. And actually, if you pay a lot more attention of like what you don't eat, or more specifically, like when you don't eat, can do a lot for your gut. So we are obsessed with snacking in this culture. We're obsessed with like convenience food. We're obsessed with like feeling good. And so we eat a lot, and we eat really frequently, and we eat really late, and we just are eating all the time. And that never gives your gut a break. It never gives your stomach the chance to just like not be digesting food. And when it's not digesting food, it actually can repair and heal so much better and faster when there's nothing sitting in it. So your body is going to always choose to digest food in your stomach over healing something that's going on, because it needs to take care of it. And so if we're constantly feeding ourselves, we're telling our body to like constantly take care of digesting, and it will never heal. So if we can take bigger breaks from eating, whether that be just having set meals in a day, or maybe you try something like intermittent fasting or an extended fast, with the guidance of somebody who knows what they're doing, you can see so many chronic conditions clear up just by not consuming as much or as frequently as you are now.
Well, thanks for sharing. I know people love getting these little tips and tidbits from you. Before we get to our callers, obviously you can find Maria at mariaviall.com if you're looking for more information from Maria about health and wellness and some eating habits. Obviously, at Natural Habits on Instagram, you can check out some of Maria's tips and tricks and wellness trips on her our video series, and obviously NHOils.com, 30% off our oils when Maria is in studio with us. Send your questions at asknick@castmedia.com. We have a great episode for you coming up. So thanks for sticking with us. As always, we love that you're listening, appreciate it, and hope you enjoy some of these callers. Here's an honest question. How are you supposed to know what to do with your money? Very few of us are exposed to meaningful advice on how to manage our finances. Even fewer have the means to get professional financial guidance. Betterment is a platform that was built to do something radical, to give accessible financial advice that puts you first. If you're like most Americans, your money is probably sitting in a savings account, likely earning you next to nothing. Maybe you have an investment account that you're really not sure what to do with. Betterment can help you make sense of what to do with your money. Investing involves risk, but you don't have to know the ins and out of the stock market to start or start investing for the future. Betterment's technology will put your money to work, choosing the stocks and strategies that are right for you. Because we know you have other things to do. Betterment's platform can even provide guidance on what financial goals make sense for you. Give your money a new home with Betterment, peace of mind included. Download the Betterment app today. That's BETTERMENT for the betterment of you. REM Rise, helping you sleep better.
So many of our listeners have been like DMing us saying
I know,
they're
right?
using
It's
this.
always fun to hear how we are improving people's lives, not with our, in my opinions, but also with our friends of show.
Yeah, Nick and I both took the sleep quiz and we got the same thing.
Restless sleepers.
Yes, fitful sleepers.
Fitful sleepers.
So we got this box, and I'm opening it if you're watching on YouTube. And it comes with a box, and then there's 4 boxes, and each box has a packet that you take each night.
And like I said, Rochelle has been such a delight ever since she's been using RemRise. It's been really great. They also have an amazing app to help you also track your sleep. If you're taking vitamins and pills or anything, I forget to do that all the time.
Yeah.
So RemRise also has a very user-friendly app to help you do that, and then also gives you progress and track and information and helping you sleep better.
So if you're wondering what it is, it's a personalized sleep solution that uses natural plant-based formulas to help calm the mind, relax the body, and get your circadian rhythm back on track for a better, more restorative sleep.
Who doesn't want some circadian rhythm? I know I do.
The good thing is it doesn't make you groggy. A lot of times when you take stuff to make you sleep, you feel terrible in the morning. Not with RemRise.
Totally. I would agree. They do not feel groggy at all. And that is a very important point. A very important point. And I stand by that. Do what I did, or do what we did, rather, and check out RemRise today. Go to remrise.com/VIALL to take their sleep quiz. And when you sign up, you'll get 25% off your first month of RemRise. You don't find an offer like this anywhere else. Get 25% off your first month of RemRise when you sign up at getremrise.com/VIALL. Getremrise.com/VIALL.
Question time with Nick. Let's ask Nick your sexy questions.
How's it going?
Hi, I'm Emma. I'm 29 years old.
Hi, Emma. 29. How can we help?
So I wrote in several weeks ago about being in a relationship with someone that my family and friends don't really vibe with.
Okay.
And my question was, how do I go about kind of handling that when my partner's going to ask me, what does XYZ think of me? And the feedback is not good. And if there's a bigger question behind that, which is, should I really be staying in a relationship where no one's really supporting me?
Okay. Is this still an issue?
Well, we've since broken up. However, I think other people might benefit from the advice.
Well, I'm curious, why'd you guys break up?
So basically, it was kind of a long time coming. I think that ultimately, her reasoning was that she was depleted from the relationship and that there was so much conflict that it was making her depressed and gaining weight and not being able to progress in her career. And that basically, because of all of our conflict and not getting along, that I'm the reason that she can't really she doesn't love me anymore because she doesn't even love herself.
Oh, so she broke up with you.
She broke up with me, which that's like a little bit of an ego tinge because I've never been broken up with before in my 15 years of dating women.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's good
Thank
experience.
You. Yeah,
that's a win. That might not feel like a win right now.
Everyone said it's in my best interest and that she did me a favor, but so it's finished now.
So this is interesting because she broke up with you, yet your family didn't care for her.
And you were insecure in whether or not you should tell her and if you should stick with it. Yeah.
Now, looking back, now that you're out of this relationship, I know it's probably still a little fresh, what were some specific concerns that your family had? Because I think the answer to the overarching question is, it kind of just depends on the situation. right? Like sometimes families do know you well and they have good advice and they can kind of see things clearer than you don't see because you're in love and your love is blind. And sometimes families suck, right?
Yeah.
Like, sometimes families
Don't know you as well.
don't know you as well as they think they do, and sometimes they project their own bullshit. So it kind of varies. I'm curious for you, looking back, how would you assess that situation?
Well, I mean, we got off to an interesting start. I think she kind of had a little bit of control issues where anytime things got too close, she'd want to take these breaks. And I don't anymore, a habit of kind of winning people over and getting into these relationships with women that I can like prove to them and really like fight. And, I'm like over that at this point because my mom was basically like, it shouldn't be this hard in the beginning. And so a month after we first met, she wanted some space, didn't talk to me for 6 weeks. And so from that point, like all my friends and family were like, you don't need this shit, So when we did get back together after that, it was kind of just more of the same. And I thought we could work past it. But I kind of avoided her, like introducing her to some of my really close friends in the beginning. And when they finally met her, they were like, she has really low vibrational energy. She seems disinterested. She seems like kind of insecure, like all of these things that I'm like, oh, geez, like it kind of made me like, because you don't want to hear that about someone you care about.
Now, did you notice those things? Yeah. I guess so. I'm curious. So everyone's telling you what they think, but like honestly, were these things you picked up on yourself, or is this strictly you're like they shared it with you and you're like, I don't see that at all?
Well, I felt like because I knew her on a deeper level, I could see how she seems very like low key and kind of even tempered.
Yeah. Well, which
is not me at all.
So here's the thing. It's like from what I'm hearing from you, it's just like sometimes like low vibrational energy, like that's not really a criticism, certainly not a reason to break up with someone. And to your point, like sometimes, especially around family, people can be a little bit different and more chill. But what I'm hearing from you and what I'm guessing your family sensed is that you weren't yourself around her because usually you probably, at least if nothing else, are confident and in control of yourself in relationships, if not the one who's in more control in a relationship. And immediately in this relationship with her, she established her control because you dated for 4 weeks and then she broke up with you for 6. You're constantly chasing her. She was constantly coming in and out. So you spent all of your relationship with this woman constantly trying to like prove yourself to her or win her over and constantly do this. And my guess is your family sensed a change in you and the fact that you were just constantly focusing on appeasing this relationship and appeasing her. And they probably didn't like that. And to explain that they didn't like her were like nitpicking these little things that were kind of like whatever.
Yeah, at the end, it's probably like they didn't like the fact her energy was pulling you down.
Yeah.
Like someone can have low energy, but you could keep your same status of energy and then no one really cares. But if someone else seems to be affecting you in a negative way, that's the guess, right?
And no one wants to like, if I had a friend who met someone and they like disappeared for any period of time and then like came back, but still like was always like, well, I don't know if we should break up. I need a break. Oh my God, this is getting too much. I'd be like, this fucking person doesn't know what they want. Like fucking leave. Right. And then, but you are just like, when people are in your position, there's that fine line between like, well, fighting for love and sticking it out and getting through the hard times. Sometimes like all the things that we need to do to make relationships work, like fighting it and getting through the tough times, we kind of like use an excuse to like,
it's worth
it. Mask the problems early on in a relationship. Like just because of what you need in a marriage those aren't the same things of what you need to make a relationship in the first few months work.
Yeah,
it should be pretty easy.
Yeah, it should. I do agree with your mom. It shouldn't be that hard. Like it's not always like there's things to navigate, but
year 4 of your marriage, when it gets a little mundane and stale, like you might have to deal with some issues that you don't just get divorced. But like the first couple months is not that time to like really fight through it and change who you are.
I kind of knew, like, honestly, in retrospect, like my first like interaction with her, I was like, this is not the person. So I think there was a little bit of my own crap I had to work out.
Yeah. Trying to prove yourself wrong.
And so going forward, next time could be a great opportunity for just learn a lesson that if you meet someone you're excited about and they kind of show some of these same traits of like pulling away and making you chase and just being confusing, now you need to, like, that's an opportunity for you to say, I've seen this before. This isn't healthy. I'm like, they're asking too much early on for me.
You don't think there's ever a scenario where like someone acts like that in the beginning and it's going to be an optimal result in the end? Like that's something to really avoid from now on. Okay.
Never.
Yeah, I was going to say in return,
what would that be?
Yeah,
you know?
and again, if for some reason that's their like trial period, like you don't need that shit either. You know what I mean? Like you don't need to like prove your ability to put up with someone's shit, and then all of a sudden they become like a better person, right?
Yeah.
They're
just going to keep putting up with their own shit if they can get away with it.
The situation you described, there's no way that person isn't just like prone to drama. They're constantly dramatic.
That's the projection, Nick. I'm telling you, the entire relationship was like, she's like, you're attracted to chaos. I don't think you know how to be normal. I don't think you do this.
Projecting
for sure
on you. That's her.
Yeah.
I'm just like, wait a second. How did I end up with you if all I know is chaos? Like, if you're not chaos?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you like drama. I don't know. But you do to a certain extent.
I want to settle down.
Sure.
Yeah. But you like it a little bit.
You like it a little bit. But
her.
she loves to bring it on.
Yeah. She likes to trigger.
Yeah.
And I want to really make sure that we cover like the whole thing. Like if you're dating someone and your family and friends are like not about them, I think it's important to, one, if their concerns are legitimately concerns you have, and them voicing them just makes you have a safer way of like finding the fault. That's different than if your family or friends are like, you know, I'm not a big fan, I don't like them, and you're kind of like, I don't see what you're saying. That's two different things. Right? If someone's airing a concern and you're like, I see that as well and it bothers me,
don't ignore it.
You avoiding it is not going to make it go away. Yeah. They're not going to become a better person.
My mom likes everyone.
Yeah.
So that was a red flag. Yeah.
And they're red flags.
Well, there were a lot of
like if a red flag comes up on your car or like an alarm, you like pay attention to it. You don't wait for the whole dashboard to light up and your car shuts down to be like, oh yeah, shit. That was a sign.
And that's a struggle. I have it too. Like dramatic people who are emotionally unavailable are also really fucking interesting, you know? And so
they love Nick.
I love him back.
That's why I wrote to you, Nick. I feel like I'm the lesbian equivalent of you.
Well,
that's great. Nick found his lesbian counterpart. I love it.
Well, I wish you luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
But Godspeed. But yeah, just have it be an opportunity to learn. She loves drama, and in her next if you ever were to meet her next partner, you guys would sit down and be like, oh my God, same. That she did that same shit to me. She's gonna keep fucking doing this, right? And then so does be. Yeah. But as far as
one more question, do you think it's a red flag if by 35 years old someone's never lived with a partner?
Not necessarily.
No.
I think so. I think that also depends on where you live. I think there's a lot of different factors to that.
Yeah. That's such a niche thing. Yeah. There could be so many reasons why. I'd pay more attention to their actions, like living situations. Like, but they have a tattoo, so I can't date them. But
I'd say like the red flag of breaking up after 4 weeks for 6 weeks is way bigger.
Way more of a concern than not having lived with someone. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and that's the thing. Like, pay attention to the real red flags and don't kind of like
don't find fault where there isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks.
All right.
Oh, wait. One more thing.
Okay.
This person is still watching all of my stuff on Instagram.
So what?
The last time this happened and I blocked her, she lost her mind.
Oh, yeah.
It's not for you to
I'm
keep
glad you brought
mind.
this. I'm glad you brought this up. Like this person will keep popping back in as long as you let them. So this is on you at this point to realize, while I'm sure they're a fine person overall, they're fairly toxic, at least for you. So you need to shut it down because they won't go away on their own. No. When they get bored, they will show back up. They're seeking drama somewhere else. Mm-hmm. And you're vulnerable right now. So you're like, I don't care that they look at their Instagram stories. It could be accident. Who knows? It could be intentional. Stop trying to figure out why they're looking at it. Block their ass if that's what makes you feel better. Like, stop using all these other excuses to keep them around. Like, it's over. Okay. She's toxic. Yeah. Not for you. She will pop back up. I'm not saying that to make you feel better. She's only bored.
Yeah, and also it's not for you to figure out why she's doing what she's doing. Like, she can do her own crazy shit. You shut it down. You take care of you and like move forward.
She's doing it because it feeds an itch.
She's a triggerer, and you actually kind of like being triggered.
Yeah. Same. So I don't feel bad.
No, we all do. We all do. I mean, everyone kind of knows our sensitive spots, and there's nothing wrong with it. We all like being wanted.
Yeah, yes, we do.
Word.
All right. Well, take care. Thanks for calling in.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Bye-bye.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
Right. Bye.
Yeah. We like to chase.
Yeah, and I didn't mean that in a bad way. That
So
like,
interesting because it's so much. Just so much wasn't about
none of the
parents.
question. No.
In terms of what happens when your parents like me or don't like me, which can really happen. And again, I do go that's situational.
It is, but at the end of the day, I honestly think it's more so. I had a gut feeling. I felt this way. I didn't listen to it. I kept going with it. I was looking for reasons, and then like it ended up becoming the truth in the end, anyways, right? And then you start figuring out like, well, how do I avoid that happening again? It's like, listen to the fucking triggers. Like, listen to the red flags. Nick.
But they're so colorful.
Yeah. They're so pretty. Waving in the air wildly.
Shavings make a pile. They really do. Shavings make a pile. I mean, in all aspects of life, and especially with your diet. I was thinking about even this podcast yesterday, Shavings Make a Pile. This show has really grown. We're getting some great guests and more listeners. And honestly, it's just, you just start and you build and you have some success and you just kind of do it a little bit at a time, but it takes time to do anything well. And if you focus on your health that way, you will start feeling better about yourself. And Noom is going a long way to give you that information about what you should eat, how to eat right, healthy eating habits, all the information that you need to take better care of yourself through your diet, right in the palm of your hand.
Yeah, and it's all based in psychology. So it teaches you why you're doing the things that you're doing and gives you tools to break the bad habits that you keep returning to.
Food logging, important. Keeping track. We just forget what we put in our bodies, and sometimes when we're eating, we're not even thinking about it. We eat. We just kind of eat out of just boredom sometimes, or just. And then when we do eat because we're hungry and we're lazy, sometimes we're just like, oh, fuck it,
Kind of like the people you date too.
Totally like the people we date.
It's an app on your phone. I have it on my phone. I go in just 10 minutes a day is all it takes to log all my food, read the articles, talk to my support group. I highly, highly recommend it.
You don't have to change it all in one day. As we say, small steps make big progress. Sign up for your trial today at noom.com/VIALL. What do you have to lose? Well, maybe wait. Visit Noom.com. That's NOOM.com/VIALL to start your trial today. NOOM.com/VIALL. Hydrate, spark, drink some water, feel better. Remember to do it through an amazing water bottle that reminds you you're thirsty. Right? And it lights up. Mine lights up green. Rochelle, what color does your light up?
Mine's coral and it glows pink.
I have been, I'm last time we reminded people of Hydrate Spark, I told people that it helps me make my pee white, which...
People were very concerned.
They were. And I'm like, you know what? That doesn't make a lot of sense. My pee is not white. That would probably be a major health concern.
Isn't it nice?
It's
people
clear.
were worried about you.
It's
clear is the word you were looking for.
Transparent, not yellow. But in all seriousness, I don't think I'm alone when I say that I don't drink enough water and I often forget. And Hydrate Spark really helps you do that. Makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
Throughout the day, working out, and if you're doing nothing else to help you feel better throughout the day, help your skin, help your internal organs, help your hair, help your stress levels, drinking water that's it. I mean, honestly, if you do nothing else, hydrating your body is a number one key to better health and wellness.
Yeah, so we downloaded the app onto our phone, and then we match it with our bottles, and the app keeps track of how much water you drink, and then it glows when you need to drink more water. And how cool, I've been in SoulCycle and my water bottle starts glowing. I just feel cool.
Yeah, because you're in that dark room and it's lighting up. I was like, what? Bitch, I need that. You really need to try the Hydrate Spark Smart Water Bottle for yourself. You'll get 20% off your first order if you use my code VIALL at checkout. Go to hydratespark.com now. It's spelled with an I, so that's HIDRATE, spark.com, hydratespark.com, discount code VIALL. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Great.
I'm Lucy. I'm 22.
Hi, Lucy, 22. How can we help?
Hi. So basically, I have been with my boyfriend for about a year now. And when we first started dating, we both let the honeymoon phase get the best of us. We said things like, "You're my person. I want to be with you forever. I see myself marrying you." Both hopeless romantics, whatever. So now flash forward 7 months and he's still saying these things, but I'm starting to get like a gut feeling that I just couldn't honestly say those things back because I didn't want to make promises that I didn't feel like I could 100% keep. And I do love him. I know that I love him, and I know without a doubt that he loves me and that he's honestly the sweetest guy ever. I've never been loved so well, and I know that sounds naive, but I feel like I've been through enough shit to know that it's more than just being naive.
I don't think that makes anyone naive to feel loved more than you ever have. I think that's great.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It feels legit. And so I guess my question in short is just when that feelings from the honeymoon phase start to fade, you get that gut feeling that you can't say the same things that you used to, at what point do you need to work through that because it's just the end of the honeymoon phase? And at what point is it time to say goodbye regardless of how much you love somebody?
Great.
Wow, that's a
great question. Spoiler alert, I think there's no definitive answer.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where every situation is different.
Right.
If you guys obviously listen to this podcast, I emphasize obviously there's age matters in terms of where you are in your relationship.
I knew that I was going to say.
It is a world, it's a different world, but you can feel real love at your age, right? I mean, or much younger, right? And the hard part where I guess is going through is trying to figure out is he just my first love? Or is he, okay, no. Or is he just like another love, right? So, also, as you emphasized before, he makes you feel a certain way that you've never felt before, which is must be a really great feeling. And if you've had other loves and if you've dated other men that maybe didn't treat you the way he does, that must feel really great and special. And that's certainly something to be valued, right?
Right.
And that's great. You're almost kind of sometimes in a way the opposite of a lot of calls we get where I will emphasize so many of the people ask questions. They seem like they only really care about a guy liking them is their only like priority in terms of liking them back. Right. You're almost the reverse where it's just like, oh, I've never had a guy treat me this way. And obviously, and again, that's not to be discounted, but you're then reassessing your feelings for him, right? And it's like, oh, I don't want to waste this kind of way he makes me feel.
I don't want to waste time, and I don't want to waste the feelings either.
So when you're going, so there's the honeymoon phase, right? So everyone knows about that. But the question is like, when you say you don't feel like saying it back, why? Because, every relationship has its ups and downs, its good years and bad years. If, we talked to our parents who just celebrated their 40th anniversary and, they've had a great marriage, but, there's some bummer times, sure.
Right.
But you just got to figure out what do you really love about him? How does he make you feel? And in addition to just him being nice and treating you well, does he do things for you? Does he bring out the things that you want to bring out in yourself? Or does he help with that? And all those other things that he might not do? Or, what do you feel like is actually missing other than maybe the initial excitement's gone?
Right. He's just very sensitive, I think is one thing that's kind of started to put my guard up a little bit. Like, which with the sensitivity comes the part where he's able to put so much emotion and love into the relationship because he is so intact with that emotional side. But sometimes it just feels like every little thing just becomes a big deal. But
okay,
yeah.
So there's that. But it's like,
do you have an example?
So for example, so my mom is terrified of cats, always has been, always will be.
Cats.
My boyfriend
Like
loves cats. Yeah,
okay,
cats.
okay.
My boyfriend loves cats.
That's a red
Not
flag.
in a creepy
I'm just kidding.
cat man way.
I'm
but
kidding. I'm
he has
kidding.
cats. And so he was talking to my mom about the cats. He didn't know that she was afraid. And my mom was being so sweet. She was just like, nice. This is like for 10 minutes. And finally, I mean, we'd all been drinking and I just could not handle it anymore. And I just start bursting out in laughter because my boyfriend's talking to my mom about cats that she's terrified about for 10 minutes.
Okay.
And so then my mom starts laughing with me and he can't take it. Like he has to go to another room and like cry almost for a second, text me and is like, oh my gosh, that was not okay. Like, I can't believe you're doing that, blah, blah, blah. And it's like me and my mom were like, we're not laughing at you. We're laughing at the situation. It was funny. Like,
Okay. Yeah.
we're not saying we don't care about your cats. It was just funny that you talked about my mom
you
who's terrified about cats.
Do you have a lot of examples similar to that? Or is that kind of overreaction and hypersensitivity that he has a common thing?
Yeah, more so recently, just within the last month or so.
Is this
Not
also,
so much at the beginning.
was this also kind of the same time that you kind of stopped responding with some of the same, like, you're my forever, this is always, yeah, okay.
It all kind of started to correlate. And like, I mentioned to him that this does bother me because to me, it starts to feel like to a point where it's an argument. But to him, he doesn't think they're arguments. He thinks we're just having conversations. And he's like, if anybody asked me about our relationship, I would say it's more or less perfect, blah, blah, blah. But if somebody asked you about our relationship, you would say that we argue all the time.
Yeah.
He would say that?
Blah, blah.
He would say that you argue?
Yeah, just at least recently.
So can I?
Yeah.
So a couple things. So one, have you ever? So you said like you've never been loved as much as he loves you.
As well.
Okay. So could there be maybe space to know that like you can be loved really well by him, but he could not necessarily fulfill your need as a partner?
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is like, I think as women, sometimes there's always this like, you want somebody who's sensitive and takes care of you and acknowledges you and like, just like, you know that they love you, right? Like you probably could confidently be like, could you confidently say like, he would never break up with me?
Oh, yeah.
Right. So I think it's really easy for us to stay in those relationships because we're like, this person like loves me so much. Like, why would I give this up for somebody who maybe might treat me like crap? But at the end of the day, like you satisfy his need and he satisfies a part of your need. But there's like this other part of you that needs to be fulfilled that he's not. I'm going to just be really direct. He's not satisfying, and that's the reason why you feel like you can't say back, you're my person, because there's a part of you that just kind of knows like this isn't what I want, and that's probably very intimidating to him because there's probably fear in the sense that like he probably feels it to a degree, and there's fear that he might lose you, and so that's some of this like.
Your other boyfriend before him, was he kind of a dick?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Abusive in pretty much every sense of the term.
Right? So the fact that he loves you so much and so hard and so strong at first especially when you first met him, must have been very comforting and safe and nice and a great change of pace, right?
Right.
And you're just simply desiring some balance. Mm-hmm. How old is he?
22.
Are you his first girlfriend?
21.
Are you his first serious girlfriend?
No.
Okay.
How many serious girlfriends has he had before?
One.
Yeah. I mean, they're.
And was that like, when was that? In early college or how long did they date?
Yeah, earlier. Like, I mean, we're seniors now and it's like sophomore, junior year.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what, so, and again, not to condescend, but you guys are young, right? And there's things you're going to figure out. And whether you stay together or break up, you are going to look back 4 or 5 years from now, and not just in this situation, but a lot of situations go, yeah, okay, that's kind of funny how I thought that way, kind of thing. And even him, especially him right now. I mean, every guy his age, I mean, I'm sure I've done that, like I don't want to like pick on him. Guys are emotional messes, especially when they really like a girl, especially some of the good guys, some of the guys who, I in some ways I relate to him where does he have like a pretty good upbringing? Like, do you like his parents? I don't know. No?
Yeah, his parents could be
I don't mind.
considered abusive, but they're good.
Okay.
They're good.
But like it sounds like maybe he takes priority in wanting to treat you well, like it's probably important to him for people, or especially you, to think he's one of the good guys in terms of, and so he probably takes that really earnestly and very seriously. And when you're a young guy who's in love, you feel like, I'm a good guy, I'm going to open the door for you, I'm never going to like raise my mouth, and I would never be like your ex-boyfriend. And I just
sounds just like him.
And I deserve all these medals, and I'm great, and like I just love you so much, and just love me back. And it's like sometimes young men who are in love just will learn how to chill the fuck out. And that's what he's going through right now, and that's his kind of life, but to Maria's point, I'm not trying to justify it to say, hey, stick it out with him. Whether he's your guy or not, it's probably a safe bet that right now he is not capable of fulfilling these needs that Maria is suggesting. And it might require him some emotional growth and maturity that you have every right to decide, I'm not ready to stick that out with you right now. That could be years from now. It may require him to lose a love that he has with you and then, like, I'm sure for the next 6 months, I feel bad because it's going to really suck for him. It really will. And I don't say this to make you feel bad. I'm preparing you.
I know.
If you decide to break up with him, be kind. It's going to be hard on him, but don't let him guilt you into because he's going to throw a lot of guilt your way, and he's just, oh God, he's going to
be in a lot of pain.
He's going to be really.
Trust me, I've seen it from a sisterly standpoint, but also I broke up with a boyfriend who was very similar, and I dragged it out. It's going to be a
real mess.
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm terrified of. So then, how do you break up with somebody that you do love? Like, I do love him.
Yeah, but
like I've told him, like, right now I want to be with you, and right now I love you. Tomorrow I want to be with you, and tomorrow I love you. I just can't tell you more. How do you break up with someone you love?
Here's what you do. You be kind as possible, but you be direct, and you don't hedge your bet. You don't say things like maybe in the future, not right now. Break up with him.
Wait, can I just ask a really quick question? So if we could, so him who he is, and like, let's say like things changed the way he responded. Like maybe he didn't go in the other room to get upset about the cat comment. Like, let's just say,
I have never done that for the record.
No, he's not, but I'm saying, like, let's just say, like, I don't want to say anything like less sensitive, but maybe some of those ways.
He could take a joke.
Yeah. Would you still have some aspect of you that would be like, I'm not quite sure if he's my forever?
Yeah, good question. Good question.
I don't know. I think that's been the major change, is because when I was able to say those things, he wasn't getting upset like that.
Yeah.
So it's like,
because I
would like to believe that if he was able to stop getting in those mindsets, that I could get back there.
Yeah. So I think there's a fear of, like, if your last boyfriend was kind of a jerk and this guy is like super nice, it's like you feel like there's this like, well, I kind of upgraded. This guy doesn't treat me like crap. But know that, like, then this relationship, you can bring so much knowledge into, like, moving forward. If you decide to break up, it's like, okay, cool. I've been with the jerk. I've been with, like, the lovely guy. And, like, he's not, and I'm going to say this because this was the lesson I had to learn in terms of this, because I dragged on a relationship like this way past because of the guilt of the breaking up and being like, I don't want to hurt you. He's not going to be his best version if you stay with him feeling the way you do about who he is, because you're gonna always have this kind of like cringe feeling every time that sensitivity, but you're just gonna be like, oh my God, I just like get the hell away from me. Like, you're just gonna, and that's gonna get into the relationship, and then he's gonna wonder why, it probably has shifted already to a degree, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, it's
a little bit.
It's safe to say he's probably not going to chill out anytime soon.
No. And he might need you. This is the hardest thing with breakups. He might need you to break up with him and crush him. I'm not saying you're going to, but you probably will.
Most likely.
You will crush him.
No, but he also he might he needs that
though.
I doubt very much. Let's say you're like, you know what, this is my guy.
Let's work on it.
Let's work on it. And you did, and you guys got engaged like in a year from now and decided to get married early in life. This is pretty much how he's going to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But sometimes we need that, and you might need that too, right? Like you guys both will not be your best version of yourself if like you're sticking in a relationship because it's better than your last, or he's loved you better than before. Somebody can love you better than someone before, but maybe your next boyfriend loves you just as much, but like you feel that vibe. You can say you're my forever. You know, he can handle a little bit of cat comedy, you know, like I'm just, you know, like don't settle just because he's better than your last.
Yes.
Right.
I would totally agree. And again, going back to how you would break up with him, my only note would be you know, you certainly want to be kind and sensitive. And if he needs to talk, give him an opportunity. And he would, like, this guy is going to, he's going to like, can we talk again? You know, like, he's going to try to.
Well, and it would hurt me too, though. Like, it hurts my heart to even think about it.
Sure.
Like,
I'm simply just saying, be definitive in your in decision.
He's going to want to work on it.
He's going to want to work on it, and you're going to feel bad. So you'll be like, well, maybe not right now. It's, you know, maybe, and like maybe 2 years from now or a year from now, maybe you do get back together. You reconnect because there's been some growth, but don't float that idea. Leave, go away, and he'll figure it out. He's got friends and family. And interestingly enough, you're not going to be the person to, like, even though he loves you so much, you're his girlfriend. You're not going to be the one to coach him up. You're not going to be the one who says, hey, listen, dude,
you can't fix him.
You can't be this way.
No.
It might be a friend or internally on himself who's like, hey man, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, you're great. I love you. And you were a great boyfriend, but man, you kind of need to chill the fuck out, man.
No, he's saying that you're not. She's not the one to tell him that.
No, she's not.
Yeah,
like a friend of his or someone after he's going through this heartbreak.
Yeah, it's not for you to like teach him a lesson. It's just you have to stand from a point of like, this is how I feel. Like, don't make it about him. Just be like, hey, look, I love you, and thank him for like all of his love. But at the end of it, you have to be like, this is how I feel, and I'm not into it, or I don't feel the feelings I felt when we began, and I can't honestly continue on this relationship because it wouldn't be fair for you or myself, right? Because sometimes we're always just like, it wouldn't be fair for you, and he'd be like, I'm okay with it. Like, I'll stick with it. You know, just own that and be like,
well, that's what he said last time I kind of brought something up. Is I'll work on it. If that means I can't speak my mind, I won't.
Yeah, but you don't want someone like that, right?
That's the thing too. Is like, you almost don't want to give him too many explanations as to why, because he will just be like, oh, well, just, I mean, that was me, the fixer. Like,
me too. Yeah.
Oh,
I can change.
Please give me a list. This is very helpful.
Look at me. Look at me. I'm so grounded. I'm fun. Like, look at me. I'm going out. I don't need you.
Now last in like 8 days. Like, I fixed everything. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, and it will last for a couple weeks, and it'll be right back to the cats. It will.
Yeah.
It will.
You almost just want to be like, listen, my feelings have changed, and I just think I need to move on.
Yeah, you have to own it, girl. You can't say we. Like, you have to be like, I feel this way. You know, I love you. Thank you so much for like loving me, but like I can't continue on because I'm not happy.
Yeah.
And less about him and what's wrong with him and what he needs to change, because like Nick said, for sure that's going to be a constant. Because he's going to keep trying to be like, but look, like it's me, it's new fun boyfriend. Yeah. Like, look, I can take a joke. Like, I'm doing stand up. Yeah. Like, like it's just, you have to own it, and it's going to be hard. And he's going to keep coming back, and he's going to keep showing he's changed. And
be okay, be kind, but be okay with him still kind of hating you in the short term. And
it's okay for you to be sad too. Like, you love him.
He's going to be really mad at you.
He's going to say some really nice things and then probably say some really mean terrible things. And he's going to probably call up your friends and ask what they can do to help get you guys back together. But well, I think you know.
All right. Well, best of luck, and let us know how it goes. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
I so understand her from her standpoint.
Yeah.
And I actually understand her boyfriend because I've been there for you when you were the boyfriend.
Yeah.
And just like, no, Nick, don't leave a note on the car. Don't leave a.
But I love you.
I know, but like, look, I can change. I go to church now, and I'm
and the
fun.
thing is too, it's like he's probably a great guy.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm
all
sure
these
he's
things. He's
so
probably
lovely.
just a really nice guy. He just doesn't know how to kind of harness his love, so to speak.
Right. But
And when
look at sometimes like my example of that is when I finally was able to like, nope, we're not getting back together. Like that person ended up becoming a better person.
Yeah.
Because they had to like learn that. It's like, oh shit, like this
I could
sucked.
totally picture our friend like she breaks up with him, but like he's
Yeah.
nice, so she sticks around, and they
Yeah.
have like this year where like they're not
yeah.
together, but they hook up a couple times. Don't do that.
Yeah,
Don't
don't
do
try.
that.
It's like a Band-Aid. It really is. And not in a nice way.
And he
right?
won't actually change until he accepts that she is out of his life.
No, and I think like we can be so blinded by a relationship and the ideals, and I remember that age. Like, and also I was gonna say to her, you know, they're seniors in college, right? So it's like there's this new chapter looming, and that probably is really scary too. It's like, well, I better lock this down before we're out in the world.
Yeah.
And she's probably like, I kind of can't wait
nice,
to breathe.
but like, I don't know. This
But
like
she probably wants to
27-year-old
breathe.
guy with money.
Right. Well, and
I don't mean like a gold digger, but like, you know, like
no, but she also probably feels suffocated. I guarantee she feels suffocated.
I bet she would, to your point, might feel a little bit more fulfilled with a guy who's a few years older than her, has it kind of a little bit more figured out, emotionally a bit more mature than her guy right now.
Or just has like a little bit, and just
It's possible she can meet some of her age with the emotional maturity, but women do mature faster than men.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm totally
Right.
I'm bored with that stereotype.
And I think like we kind of slow down that maturity if somebody's all of a sudden showing us like this ultimate kindness. It's like everybody feels bad breaking up with the nice guy because it's like you hear about all the jerks out there, but it's like a nice guy too can be actually
A little manipulative,
very manipulative,
and
yes.
a little toxic, not
Yes.
intentionally, but like he can, like his comment about the cats, but that's not okay and that's not right. It's just like,
right.
chill the fuck
So all
out,
of a sudden
bro.
it's like I'm feeling bad because we're having this lighthearted.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I didn't want to say it, but she probably wants a guy who can like, you know, give it back a little bit. Or, you know, like you don't want to date a doormat.
Balance. She needs balance.
Yeah, and I'm happy that she kind of knows, but it's going to be tough, but she'll do it. She's got it.
How's it going?
Hey, I'm Rachel. I'm 22
Hi,
from Milwaukee.
Hi, Rachel. 22, Milwaukee.
Welcome.
Yeah,
How can we help?
thank you. All right, so a little bit of the backstory is I've had the same kind of group freshman year of college throughout all of college. We'll call him Billy, is one of my friends in the group, and we started to hook up junior year, kind of that on and off. It was a little dicey at times. It was always kind of like he had stronger feelings than I did, and so we were very on and off, ended up having drama, whatever. Senior year comes, we started dating a little bit, fully ended things, whatever. So we fully stopped everything 5 months ago, and New Year's just happened, and you really hit it on the head with the Wells episode. You know, us from Milwaukee, we went to Chicago, got to get the bar deal, have a good time there.
Yeah.
Um,
Overpay for drinks.
Right, exactly. So we had a good time, all went there, all of our friends, pretty normal, everything's cool. Around midnight, I'm talking to another guy who we aren't friends with, just a stranger, whatever. Ended up kissing him, nothing crazy, whatever.
Okay.
And I look over a little bit later, still talking to him, and I see Billy screaming and sobbing in the bar. So I'm a little confused.
Screaming and sobbing?
Yeah, I was going to say. What?
Sobbing, yes.
Oh.
Who is
To
he
our
screaming at?
Yeah, who's he screaming to or at or what?
He was, to our mutual friends,
Okay.
like our guy friends.
Okay.
So I'm a little confused, but I'm like, obviously I'm not going to go over there. I don't know. So a little bit later, I go to one of my other friends and I'm like, what's going on with Billy? And he's like, he's pissed at you because he thought I maliciously like took a guy over near him to kiss at midnight to like rub it in his face or something. Which to like paint a picture, he knew other people at this bar, was not in the section that we were at. Like it was like a large space. There were different sections. And I had not seen him all night. So I had no idea that he was even near me. And also, whatever.
So a question.
So then,
I got a question
sorry?
for you. Was there any part of you that wanted to make him jealous?
No.
You sure? Because I'm not totally believing you.
No, that's a fair question. No, because I think, in the past, I've always been kind of blamed to be like the bad guy in all of the situations because he's kind of been the one that has had stronger feelings.
Okay.
So I have been trying to be respectful of that, and like not get on the bad side. Okay. So I don't think I was like trying to make him jealous.
You
think.
Well,
so no, wait. What's her question though?
Yeah, but I'm just trying.
So my question is, So okay. So then fast forward. I am now blocked on every social media: Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, LinkedIn, Spotify, Venmo, anything you can think of.
Good for him.
Have you checked all of these apps to see if you can have access to it?
I know. I now that I'm saying it, I checked them. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't even know you could block on Spotify.
Yeah, I didn't know you could block on
And
Venmo.
your question is, what? Do you like let it be? Do you reach out? What? Is that what it is?
Right. So I guess the question is am I being insensitive saying that I think that this is kind of childish behavior?
Yes.
And because we are all in the same friend group, like how am I supposed to react when I do see him?
Well, I don't think
because I will see him.
Well, it sounds like he's the one who's trying to figure out how to react around you. The fact that he's blocked you on everything sounds like he can't right now take any information that has anything to do with you and what you're doing with your life.
Yeah.
Like that's what it sounds like.
And yes, and so he is, from what I'm hearing, doing what he thinks
to protect himself.
Yeah. And so is it an overreaction? I mean, maybe, but sometimes you have to go to the extreme to do these things. I mean, like, that's why you, like, if you want to block someone because you're trying to get over them, and block them because that's what I'm saying. You're doing it because you don't want to see it. You're not, hopefully he's not doing it to get a reaction from you. All right. That's not for you to figure out.
Yeah,
right.
It's
stop. You're still playing games with him. This whole friend group, there is drama. It sounds like you have the power in this relationship.
You kind of like the fact that maybe he was a little bit bothered. I'm not saying you want to be with him, but like again, everyone likes to be liked.
You do like to be liked. My guess is there will be a day he will be totally over you. He'll be moved on. You will feel like he actually is more or less indifferent towards you, and that day it will bother you. It'll piss you off.
Hell yeah, it will bother you. Even if
because right now you have control and like you care about him, you don't want to see him freaking out. But what you want to do right now is tell him he's being childish and whatever. But like he's hurting and listen, they're not a bad person. Like we've all been there.
Yeah,
this is an exact emotion. But what you need to do is respect what he's trying to do and let it go.
Yeah.
And if you want to go above and beyond, stop using this friend group as an excuse to like, well, I can't help it. Like we're in the same friends, and he's got to like be. Maybe avoid the friend group a while. Like he's asked indirectly for space.
Yeah, I was just gonna say maybe New Year's and the cry screaming, maybe it triggered something to him to be like, oh shit, I didn't realize she has that strong of a pull on me, and he may have been like, I need to move forward. Like she's moving forward, and this is how he does it, right?
Also,
like we don't know,
or more likely, he has used this friend group as an excuse to have access to you still. Like he's still hopeful that you would like reconnect and he could still be around you and probably hoping that he would be the New Year's kiss. So
right. He also has left all of the group chats like of our friend group that I'm in. I think it's like not.
So you may not even have to worry about how to react when you see him.
Yeah, but
he may not show around.
What she wants to do is kind of make a thing of it, and she wants to call him out.
You want to ask everyone
and for the sake of the group, he needs to suck it up.
Yeah.
You need to stop doing that. You need to let him go. You need to respect his space.
You gotta let him go.
Let him do the big person thing. If you know he's going to be there, just fucking let it go. Most likely he'll just avoid it, right? But don't be a dick and like make him feel bad about it. You know,
right.
Like
I also would suggest not asking other people in the friend group how he's doing.
Don't.
It's not your responsibility to help him get over you. That is not your responsibility.
But your only job to help him get over you is to not indirectly tease or float the idea that there's hope or check in because you care about him. You just want to make sure he's doing okay.
And just to be clear, you don't want a relationship with this guy?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So let him go.
Yeah. You got to just let him go.
And you haven't really let him go.
And you may not be
done
friends
things
with
I
him.
can tell. Like you're not a bad person.
No.
But you certainly enjoyed the attention. And that's okay. We've all been there.
Like everyone kind of wants someone to cry scream over them kissing someone else. Like
I don't want you, but I'm not ready to get over me.
It's traumatic, but you cared enough to be like, what's wrong with him? Like, could it be I kissed someone else?
And the day he is totally over you, it's going to bug you.
It's gonna
bug you. And
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Don't be a dick and then convince yourself oh my God, I realized that I loved you. You don't love him. Right? You're like, he's not your guy. He's a nice guy. You want something else. You want to like make out with some guy in Chicago, as you should. Good for you. Friend groups, as you guys get older, will slowly dissolve and break away. It's fine.
It's just coming with the crushing hammer of like everything you love right now will not be in existence.
Yeah, that's called life. Things evolve and change, right? Like your college friend group, as you guys leave college. Well, like you'll still be friends with all these people. It's going to be different. Like, yes, I remember college. I loved the friend group. I miss the friend group sometimes. Yeah. That like we all know we're all hanging out. It's not a matter of if we're hanging out. It's just where are we going? It's great. It's fun. Right. That changes, and that'll end. And lots of times, these are some of the reasons that make it start ending. So, but in this case, don't be a dick.
Yeah, he cut the cords. Don't try to like mend them. Yeah. Like let the cords be cut.
Yeah.
So just avoid all. I mean, I understand what you're saying. So if there are friend group things, I should not go.
Well, I think you can go as long as you know that you
know your intentions. Yeah. And as my guess is you won't have to worry about that because he's going to the extreme of cutting you off.
Yeah.
Let him cut you off.
Yeah.
Don't go out of your way to like tell a friend that you think he's being immature.
Yeah. Right.
So that it gets back to him.
Or ask him like, why'd you do
this?
Yeah,
like, oh my God, I thought we were just friends.
The less that you seem to care, the easier he will get over you.
Yeah.
Okay. That's very helpful. Thank you.
All right. Best of luck.
Thanks
Stay
for
warm.
calling in.
All right. Well, another great episode, Maria.
Yeah.
Thanks as always for joining us. We'll have to keep doing this and keep making the thing. Don't forget to check out Maria at mariaviall.com, nhoils.com. As always, when she's in studio, we'll do 30% off all essential oils. Anything else? Don't forget to send your questions at asknick@castmedia.com. As always, thanks for listening, and we will see you next time.
If you love them, let them go.
If you love them, let them go.
White fang them.